everybody. Today I will be discussing how social media can affect a teen's mental health. On October 6, 2021, the Washington Post reported a story about Frances Haugen, a former Facebook data scientist who exposed internal research from the company. That research revealed something shocking. That Instagram caused body image issues for 1 in 3 teenage girls. Haugen then shared a story of a 15-year-old girl who developed severe anxiety and depression after constantly looking at altered, photoshopped photos within the apps online. Her parents said she went from being an outgoing, confident student to someone who is now isolated and withdrawn, all because of the pressure to look perfect for social media. It's a heartbreaking story, but it's one that's becoming more and more common in today's world. And this isn't an isolated story. According to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention of 2023, 50% of teenage girls and 29% of teenage boys reported feeling constant sadness or hopelessness. The CDC also found that teens who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media face double the risk of poor mental health compared to those who spend less time online. So think about that. 3 hours a day. That's less than what many of us probably spend scrolling without even realizing it. So today, I'm going to talk about how social media impacts the mental health of teenagers, what the research says about its risks, and what we can do to create healthier habits. First, I'll explain how social media affects the developing teenage brain. Then, I will discuss the negative mental health effects that come with too much social media use. And finally, I will share some ways we can all promote healthier online habits to protect everybody's mental health. So let's start with how social media affects the brain. The adolescent brain is wired to seek feedback and approval. Teenagers are especially sensitive to how others perceive them, and social media amplifies that. According to research from the National Institutes of Health, the brain's reward system is especially active during adolescence, which is the teenage years. Every like, every comment, and every new follower is a trigger for a small burst of dopamine in their brain. That same chemical is released when we eat sweets, win a game, or even gamble. That dopamine hit makes social media feel rewarding, and that's why it can become addictive. Teens start to crave that next notification, that next like, and before they know it, they've spent hours chasing validation. Now that we understand the brain sensitivity, let's talk about the effects of spending too much time online. A 2019 study published in the JAMA Psychiatry found that teens who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media had a significantly higher risk of developing mental health problems. Things such as anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem were part of those problems. Constant exposures to highlight reels and edited images can make teens feel like they're not good enough. It's easy to forget that what we see online is not real life. It's a filtered version of it. That constant comparison can lead to poor body image, loneliness, and feelings of isolation. And ironically, while social media is supposed to connect us, studies show that heavy use often leads to more loneliness, not less. So what can we do about it? That's the question. First, we can encourage mindful social media use, setting time limits, taking breaks, and being aware of how certain content makes us feel. Second, parents, schools, and friends can create safe spaces for conversation, places where teens can talk about the pressure they feel online without the judgment. And finally, we can shift how we use social media. Instead of comparing, use it to create, to connect, and to share authentic moments like it was meant to be for. When used intentionally, social media can have positive benefits like finding communities, learning new things, or expressing creativity. To wrap up, social media isn't all bad, but it's a powerful tool that can affect your young minds in serious ways. And it's honestly not even talked about enough. Remember that story about the 15-year-old girl who lost her confidence because of what she saw online? That's not just her story. It's one that represents millions of teens today. By understanding how social media impacts the brain, recognizing the risks, and promoting healthier habits, we can turn these platforms from sources of pressure into spaces of positivity. Because at the end of the day, our worth isn't measured by likes, followers, or filters. It's measured by who we are offline. Thank you.